run his course. Antonius, Caesar, my lord, forget not in your speed to touch Calpurnia. Our elders say the banner touched in this holy chase to shake off that sparrow curse.
I shall remember. Caesar says to this, it is performed.
Set on, and leave no ceremony out. Bow, fall. Bid every noise be still. Peace yet again. Who is it in the crowd that calls on me? I hear a tongue. Shriller than all the music, cry Caesar. Speak. Caesar's turn to hear.
Beware the Ides of March.
What man is that?
A soothsayer, bid you beware the Ides of March.
Set him before me, let me see his face.
Come out from the throng, look upon Caesar.
It's a woman. The back rags. She's blind, too. Incredible. What sayest thou to me now? Speak once again.
Beware the Ides of March.
She is a dreamer. Come. It's home, you idle creatures. Get you home. This is a holiday.
Aye, the feast of Lupercal.
Aye, Lupercal.
Know you not being workers, you ought not parade upon an awesome day without the sign of your profession.
Speak. What trade thou? What, sir? Carpenter.
You, sir, what trade are you?
A trade, sir, that I hope that I may use with a safe conscience, which is indeed, sir, another bad sport.
What trade, thou knave, thou worthless knave? What trade?
Beseech you, sir, be not angry with me, yet if you are, sir, I can mend you.
What meanest thou by that?
Why, sir, I am a cobbler.
Thou art a cobbler, art thou?
Truly, a surgeon to the old shoes.
What?
When they are in great danger, I recover them.
Tell me, sir, why dost thou lead these men about the street?
To wear out their shoes, to get myself into more work.
All about and drive away the vulgar from the streets. So do you two. Where you perceive them thick.
But indeed, sirs, we make holiday to see Caesar and to rejoice in his triumph.
Praise Caesar!
Wherefore rejoice?
What do you want?
What conquest brings him home? What prisoners follow him to the city to grace in captive bonds his chariot wheel?
Mad.
Oh, you blunt! You stone! You worse than senseless thing!
Heed thee not.
Do you not comprehend? Yes, many a time and oft have you climbed the walls and battlements, the towers and windows. Here's the chimney top, your infants in your arms, and there have waited the livelong day in patient expectation to see the great Pompey pass the streets of the city. And now do you don your best apparel? Now do you cut out a holiday? Now do you strew flowers in his way that comes in triumph over Pompey's blood? Be gone! Run to your home! Fall upon your knees! And pray to the gods to withhold the plague that must needs light upon this ingratitude!
Go! Go, good countrymen! They vanish, tongue-tied in their guiltiness. Go you down that way toward the Capitol. This way will I. Disrobe the images if you do find them decked with ceremonies.
But may we do so? You know it is the feast of Lupercal.
It is no matter. Let no images be hung with Caesar's trophy. These growing feathers plucked from Caesar's wing will make him fly an ordinary pitch. Who else would soar above like the gods and keep us all in servile fearfulness?
Will you go see the order of the course?
Not I, Cassius.
I pray you do.
I am no lover of sport. I do lack some part of that quick spirit that is in Antony. But let me not hinder, Cassius, your desires. I'll leave you.
Brutus, I do observe you now of late. I have not seen from your eyes that gentleness and show of love as I was wont to have. You bear too stubborn and too strange a hand over your friend that loves you.
Cassius, be not deceived. If I have veiled my look, I turn the trouble of my countenance wholly upon myself. Vexed I am of late with passions of some difference, conceptions only proper to myself. and nor construe any further my neglect than that poor Brutus was himself at war against the shows of love to other men.
Then I have much mistook your feelings.
Good.
Tell me, good Brutus, can you see your face?
Why, no, Cassius, for the eye sees not itself but by reflection, by some other things.
'Tis true. And it is very much lamented, Brutus, that you have no such mirrors as will turn your hidden worthiness into your eyes that you might see your image. I have heard where many have the best respect in this country, except immortal Caesar, speaking of Brutus and groaning underneath this tyranny of our time, have wished that noble Brutus had his eyes.
Into what dangers would you lead me, Cassius? That you would have me seek into myself for that which is not in me.
Therefore, good Brutus, be prepared to hear. And since you know you cannot see yourself so well as by reflection, I, your blast, will modestly discover to yourself that of yourself you yet know not of. And be not suspicious on me, gentle Brutus. If you know that I do fall on men and hug them hard and after slander them, or if you know that I profess myself in banqueting to all the rout, then hold me dangerous.
What means his shouting? I fear the people choose Caesar for their king.
Aye, do you fear it? Then must I think you would not have it so?
No, I would not, Cassius. And yet I love him well. But wherefore do you hold me here so long? What is it that you would impart to me? If it be aught for the general good, set honor in the one eye and death in the other, and I shall look upon both indifferently. But let the gods so speed me as I love the name of honor more than I fear death.
I know that virtue to be in you, Brutus, as well as I do know your outward favor. Well, honor is the subject of my story. I cannot tell what you and other men think of this life. But for my single self, I would just as soon not be alive as be in awe of another such a man. I was born as free as Caesar, so were you. But we both have feathers well. We both can endure the winter's cold as well as he. For once, upon a raw and gusty day, the troubled Tiber chafing with her shores, Caesar said to me, "Darest thou, Cassius, now leap in with me into this angry flood and swim to yonder point?" Upon the word, accoutred as I was, I plunged in and bade him follow. So indeed he did. The torrent roared, and we did buffet it with robust limbs, but ere we could reach the point proposed, Caesar cried, "Help me, Cassius, or I sink!" I, upon my shoulders, from the waves of the Tiber, did bear the tired Caesar. And this man is now become a god, and Cassius is a wretched creature and must bend his body if Caesar but carelessly nod on him. He had a fever when he was in Spain, and when the fit was on him, I did mark him how he did shake. Ye gods, it doth amaze me that a man of such feeble condition should so get the start of the majestic world and win all the honor.
Another general shout. I believe these applauses of some new honors heaped upon Caesar.
Why, man, he doth bestride the narrow world like a colossus. And we petty men walk under his huge legs and peep about to find ourselves dishonorable graves. Men that sometimes are masters of their fates. The fault, dear Brutus, is not in the stars, but in ourselves that we are underlings. Brutus and Caesar. What should be in that Caesar? Why should that name be sounded more than yours? When could they say till now that spoke of this country that her wide walls encompassed but one man? Oh, you and I have heard our fathers say, there was a Brutus once.
You speak of my ancestor.
Aye. He that would have tolerated the eternal devil himself to keep his state here as easily as a king.
That you do love me, I have no doubt. What you would persuade me to, I have some aim. What I have thought of this and of this time, I shall recount to you hereafter. Till then, my noble friend, chew upon this. Brutus had rather be a villager than to repute himself a son of our fair country under such hard conditions as this time is like to lay upon us.
I am glad that my weak words have struck but thus much show of fire from Brutus.
The games are done. Caesar's returning.
As they pass by, pluck Casca by the sleeve, and he will, after his sour fashion, tell us what hath preceded worthy note today.
I will do so. Look you, Cassius. The angry spot doth glow on Caesar's brow. All the rest look like a scalded train. Calpurnius' cheek is pale.
Casca will tell us what the matter is.
Antonius, Caesar, let me have men about me that are fat, well-groomed men such as sleep at night. Yon Cassius has a lean and hungry look. He thinks too much. Such men are dangerous.
Fear him not, Caesar. He's not dangerous. He's a noble officer and well given.
Would he were fatter. But I fear him not. Yet, if my name were liable to fear, I do not know the man I should avoid so soon as that spare Cassius. He reads much. He's a great observer. He looks quite through the deeds of men. He loves no plays as thou dost, Antony. He hears no music. Seldom he smiles in such a manner as if he mocked himself, scorned his spirit that can be moved to smile at anything. Such men as he never be at heart's ease whilst they behold a greater than themselves, and therefore they are very dangerous. I rather tell thee what is to be feared than what I fear, for always I am Caesar. Come, upon my right hand, for this here is death, and tell me truly what thou thinkest of him.
Plucked me by the sleeve. Would you speak with me?
Aye, Casca. Tell us what hath chanced today that Caesar looks so serious.
There was a crown offered Caesar, and being offered him, he put it by with the back of his hand, thus. And then the people fell a-shouting.
And what was the second shout for?
Why, for that too.
They shouted thrice. What was the last cry for?
Why, for that too.
The crown was offered him thrice.
And he put it by thrice, each time gentler than the other. And at every putting by, my worthy neighbors shouted.
Who offered him the crown?
Why, Antony.
Tell us the manner of it, gentle Casca.
I saw Mark Antony offer him a crown, yet 'twas not a crown neither. 'Twas one of these coronets. And as I told you, he put it by once, but to my thinking, he would have been very pleased to have it. Then he offered it him again. He put it by again, but to my thinking, he was very loath to lay his fingers off it. Then he offered it a third time. He put it the third time by, and still, as he refused it, the rabblemen hooted and clapped their chapped hands and uttered such a deal of stinking breath, because Caesar refused the crown, that it almost choked Caesar, for he fainted and fell down at it. And for my part, I durst not laugh, for fear of opening my lips and receiving bad air.
But soft, I pray you, did Caesar faint?
He fell down in the marketplace, foamed at the mouth, and was speechless.
It is very like he hath the falling sickness.
No, Caesar hath it not. But you and I and honest Casca, we have the falling sickness.
I know not what you mean by that, but I am sure Caesar fell down.
What said he when he came unto himself?
Before he fell, when he perceived the common herd was glad he had refused the crown, he plucked open his doublet and offered them his throat to cut. Then he fell. When he came to himself, he asked if he had done or said anything amiss. He desired their worships to think it was his infirmity. 3 or 4 wenches where I stood cried, "Alas, good soul," and forgave him with all their hearts. There's no heed to be taken of them. If Caesar had stabbed their mothers, they would have done no less.
And after that, he came thus seriously away.
Aye.
Did Cicero say anything?
Aye, he spoke Greek.
To what effect?
Well, those that understood him smiled at one another and shook their heads. But for my part, it was Greek to me. There's more news I could tell you. Marcellus and Flavius, for pulling banners off Caesar's images, are put to silence. Fare you well. There was more foolery yet if I could remember it.
Will you stop with me tonight, Casca?
No, I am promised forth.
Will you dine with me tomorrow, then?
Aye, if I be alive and your mind whole and your dinner worth the eating.
Good. I will expect you.
Do so. Farewell, both.
The blunt fellow this has grown to be. He was quick mettle when he went to school.
So is he now in execution of any bold or noble enterprise, even though he puts on this tardy form. This rudeness is a sauce to his good wit, which gives men stomach to digest his words.
And so it does. For this time, I will leave you. Tomorrow, if you please to speak with me, I will come home with you. Or if you will, come home to me, and I will wait for you.
I will do so. Till then, think of the world. Well, Brutus, thou art noble. Yet I see thy honorable metal may be wrought from that it is disposed. For who so firm that cannot be seduced? Caesar doth bear me hard, yet he loves Brutus. If I were Brutus now and he were Cassius, Caesar should not humor me. I will this night in at Brutus' window throw documents as if they came from several citizens, writings all tending to the great opinion that the people hold of his name, wherein obscurely Caesar's ambition shall be glanced at. And after this, let Caesar seat him sure, for we will shake him, or worse days endure. By your voice.
Your ear is good. Cassius, what a night is this?
Very pleasing night, honest men.
Whoever knew the heavens menace so?
Those that have known the earth so full of faults. For my part, I have walked about the streets, submitting me unto the perilous night, when the forked blue lightning seemed to open.
Are not you moved when all the sway of the earth seems to shake like a thing unfirm? Oh, I have seen tempests when the scolding wind hath split the knotty oak. And I've seen the ambitious ocean rage and swell and foam. But never till tonight, never till now, did I go through a tempest dropping fire. Either there is civil strife in heaven, or else the world too saucy with the gods incenses them to send destruction.
You are dull, Casca. And those sparks of life that should be in a patriot you do lack, or else you use not. Now could I, Casca, name to thee a man most like this dreadful night, a man no mightier than thyself or me in personal action, yet prodigious grown, and fearful as these strange eruptions are.
'Tis Caesar that you mean, is it not, Cassius?
Let it be who it is. For the people now have flesh and limbs like to their ancestors, but alas, for these times our fathers' minds are dead. We are governed with our mother's spirits. Our meek endurance of bondage shows us womanage.
Indeed. They say the senators tomorrow mean to make Caesar a king. And he shall wear his crown by sea and land in every place save here.
I know where I will carry this weapon then. Cassius from bondage will deliver Cassius. That part of tyranny that I do bear I can shake off at pleasure.
So can I. So every bondman in his own hand bears the power to cancel his captivity.
And why should Caesar be a tyrant then? I know he would not be a wolf, but that he sees that the people are but sheep.
Stay close a while. Here comes one in haste.
'Tis Cinna, I do know him by his gait. He is a friend. Where haste you so, Cinna?
To find out you. Who's that? Decius Brutus?
No, it is Casca, one closely associated to our attempts. Am I not stayed for, Cinna?
I am glad on it. What a fearful night is this. There's 2 or 3 of us have seen strange sights to...
Am I not stayed for? Tell me.
Yes, you are. But Cassius, if you could win Brutus to our party when it...
Be you content? Good Cinna, take this paper and look you lay it in the chief magistrate's chair, where Brutus alone may find it, and throw this in at his window. All this done, return to the western portico of the capital where you shall find us. Metellus, Cimber, and Tremonia there.
Well, I'm with Decius Brutus, and he's gone to seek you at your house. Well, I will hurry. Distribute these papers as you bade me.
That done, return to the western portico. Come, Casca. You and I will yet ere day see Brutus at his house. 3 parts of him is ours already, and the man entire upon the next encounter yields him ours.
Oh, he sits high in all the people's heart, and that which would appear offense in us, his support, like richest alchemy, will change to virtue and to worthiness.
Yes, him and his worth and our great need of him you have right well conceived. Now let us go. It is after midnight, and ere day we will wake him and be sure of him.
No personal cause to oppose him, but for the public well-being. He would be crowned. How that might change his nature, there's the question. It's the bright day that brings forth the adder and that craves wary walking. Crown him, that, and then I grant we put a sting in him that at his will he may do danger with. The abuse of greatness is when it disjoins mercy from power. And to speak the truth of Caesar, I cannot say when his passion ruled more than his reason. It is a common proof that lowliness is young ambition's ladder, where to the climber upward turns his face. But when he once attains the utmost round, he then under the ladder turns his back, looks in the clouds, scorning the base degrees by which he did ascend. So Caesar may, then lest he may, prevent.
Sir, the lamp burneth in your study, and searching the window for a match, I found this paper thus sealed up. And I am sure it did not lie there when I went to bed.
I'll get you to bed again if it is not day. Is that tomorrow, boy, the Ides of March?
I know not, sir.
Look in a calendar and bring me word.
I will, my lord.
Meteors whizzing in the air give so much light that I might read by them. Brutus, thou sleepst. Awake and see thyself. Shall our country, etc. Speak, strike, redress. Brutus, thou sleepst. Awake. Such instigations have often been dropped where I took them up. Shall our country, etc. Thus must I piece it out. Shall this nation stand under one man's awe? Oh, my ancestors did from the boundaries of this sovereign state the Turkwan drive when he was called a king. Speak, strike, redress. How am I entreated to speak and strike? For my country I make thee promise. The redress shall follow. Thou shalt receive thy full petition at the hand of Brutus.
Sir, March is wasted 15 days.
'Tis good. Good at the gate. Someone knocks. Since Cassius first did wet me against Caesar, I have not slept. Between the acting of a dreadful thing and the first motion, all the interim was like a hideous dream or a nightmare. Genius, the mortal instruments are then in council. The state of man, like to a little kingdom, suffers then the nature of an insurrection.
Sir, this Cassius at the door and Doc desired to see you.
Zelo.
No, sir, there are more with him.
You know.
No, their hats are plucked about their ears and their faces half buried in their cloaks. And I may not recognize him by any mark of appearance.
Let him enter. fear the faction. O conspiracy, shamest thou to show thy dangerous brow by night, when evils are most free? Oh, then by day, where will you find a cavern dark enough?
I fear we are too bold upon your rest. Good morrow, Brutus. Do we trouble you?
No, I've been up this hour, awake all night. No IVs to come along with you?
Yes, every one of them. This is Trebonia.
You're welcome hither.
This Theseus Brutus.
You're welcome too.
Brutus. This Casca.
Brutus.
This Cinna.
My lord.
And this Metalasimba.
You're all welcome. What watchful cares to interpose themselves betwixt your eyes and night?
Shall I entreat a word?
Here lies the east. Doth not the day break here?
No. Oh, pardon, sir. It doth.
And yon gray lines that but the clouds are messengers of day.
Shall confess that you are both deceived. Here, as I point my weapon, the sun arises.
Give me your hands, all over, one by one.
And let us swear our resolution.
It's not the face of men, the sufferance of souls, the time's abuse. If these be motives weak, break off at once, and each person hence to his idle bed. And so let high-sighted tyranny range on till each one drop. What if these, as I am sure they do, bear fire enough to kindle cowards, and to steal with valor the melting spirits of women? Then, countrymen, what need we any spur but our own cause to prick us to redress? Every drop of blood that every proud countryman bears, and nobly bears, is guilty of a several bastardy if he do break the smallest particle of any promise that have passed from him.
Shall no one else be touched? Only Caesar? Theseus, well urged. I do not think it advisable that Mark Antony, so well beloved of Caesar, should outlive Caesar. Let Antony and Caesar fall together.
Yes, our course will seem too bloody, Caius Cassius, to cut off the head and then hack the limbs. Now let us be sacrificers, but not butchers. But alas, Caesar must bleed for it. And gentle friends, let's kill him boldly, but not wrathfully. We shall make our purpose seem necessary and not envious, which, so appearing to the common eyes, we shall be called purgers and not murderers. As for Mark Antony, think not of him. He can do no more than Caesar's arm, when Caesar's head is off.
Yet I fear him, for in the deep love he bears to Caesar.
Peace. Count the clock.
The clock hath stricken 3.
Time to part.
Yet it is doubtful whether Caesar will come forth today or no. For he is superstitious grown of late. It may be these conspicuous omens, the unaccustomed terror of this night, and the persuasion of his advisors may hold him from the capital today.
Never fear that. If he be so resolved, I can persuade him. Let me work, for I can give his humor the true bent. I will bring him to the capital.
Nay, we will all of us be there to fetch him.
By the 8th hour, is that the latest?
Be that the latest, and fail not then.
If morning comes upon us, we'll leave you, Brutus, and friends, disperse yourselves, but all remember what you have said, and show yourselves true patriots.
Good people, look fresh and merrily. Let not our looks put on our purposes.
Yes. Right.
And so good morrow to you, everyone. Rise you now? It is not for your health thus to commit your weak condition to the raw, cold morning.
Not for yours, neither. You ungently, Brutus, stole from my bed. And yesternight at supper, you suddenly arose and walked about, musing and sighing with your arms across. And when I asked you what the matter was, you stared upon me with ungentle looks. and with an angry gesture of your hand gave sign for me to leave you. And so I did, hoping it was but an effect of humor, which sometime hath its hour with every man. It will not let you eat, nor talk, nor sleep, and could it work so much upon your shape as it hath much prevailed upon your condition, I would not know you, Brutus. Oh, dear my lord, make me acquainted with your cause of grief.
I am not well in health, and that is all.
Brutus is wise, and were he not in health, he would embrace the means to come by it.
And so I do. Good Portia, go to bed.
Is Brutus sick? And is it physical to walk unbraced and suck up the humors of the dank morning? Oh, no, my Brutus. You have some sick offense within the mind, which by the right and virtue of my place I ought to know of. Why are you so grave? And what people tonight have had resort to you? For here have been some 6 or 7 who did hide their faces, even from darkness.
Gentle Portia.
Tell me, Brutus, within the bonds of marriage, is it expected I should know no secrets which appertain to you? Am I yourself but, as it were, in sort or limitation? To keep with you at meals, comfort your bed, and talk to you sometimes? Dwell I but in the suburbs of your good pleasure?
No.
If it be no more, Portia is Brutus' harlot, not his wife.
You are my true and honorable wife, as dear to me as are the ruddy drops that visit my sad heart.
If this were true, then I should know this secret. I grant I am a woman, but withal a woman Lord Brutus took to wife. I grant I am a woman, but withal a woman well reputed, Cato's daughter. Think you I am no stronger than my sex, being so fathered and so husbanded? Tell me your counsels. I will not disclose them. I have made strong proof of my constancy.
Ye gods, render me worthy of this noble wife. Portia. Portia, go in a while, and by thy bosom shall partake all the secrets of my heart. All my engagements I will construe to thee, all the charactery of my sad brows. Lead me with haste. Lucius, who's that not?
Here is a sick man who would speak with you.
Caius Vagarius. Boy, stand aside. Caius Vagarius, how?
Vouchsafe good morrow from a feeble tongue.
Oh, what a time you have chose out, brave Caius, to be ill. Would you were not so sick.
I am not sick. If Brutus hath in hand any exploit worthy the name of honor,
Such an exploit have I in hand, Ligarius. Had you a helpful ear to hear of it?
and by all the gods that brave men bow before, I here discard my sickness. Soul of our country, brave son derived from honorable loins, thou like an exorcist hast conjured up my mortified spirit. Now, bid me run, and I will strive with things impossible. Yea, get the better of them. What's to do?
A piece of work that will make sick men whole.
But are not some whole that we must make sick?
That must we also. What it is, my Caius, I shall unfold to you as we are going to whom it must be done.
Set on your foot. And with a heart new fired I follow. To do I know not what. But it is sufficient that Brutus leads me on.
Come with me then.
Have been at peace tonight. Calpurnia cried out in her sleep, "Help, ho, they murder Caesar." Francisco,
Yes, my lord.
bid the priests to present sacrifice and bring me their opinions of success.
I will, my lord.
What mean you, Caesar? Think you to walk forth? You shall not stir out of the house today.
Caesar shall forth. The things that threaten me ne'er looked but on my back. When they shall see the face of Caesar, they are banished.
Caesar, I never took stock in omens, yet now they fright me. There is one within. Besides the things we have heard and seen, recounts most horrid sights seen by the watch. A lioness hath whelped in the streets. Graves have yawned and yielded up their dead. Fierce fiery warriors fight upon the clouds in ranks and squadrons in right form of war. The drizzled blood upon the Capitol. The noise of battle hurtled in the air. Horses did neigh, and dying men did groan, and ghosts did shriek and squeal about the streets. Oh, Caesar, these things are beyond all use, and I do fear them.
What can be avoided whose end is purposed by the mighty gods? Yet Caesar shall go forth. For these predictions are as applicable to the world in general as to Caesar.
When beggars die, there are no comets seen. The heavens themselves blaze forth the death of princes.
Cowards die many times before their deaths. The valiant never taste of death but once. Of all the wonders I have yet heard, it seems to me most strange that men should fear, seeing that death, a necessary end, will come when it will come. What say my advisors?
They would not have you to stir forth today. Plucking the entrails of an offering forth, they could not find a heart within the beast.
Caesar!
The gods do this in shame of cowardice. Caesar should be a beast without a heart if he should stay at home today for fear. No, Caesar shall not. Danger knows full well that I am more dangerous than he. We are two lions littered in one day, and I the elder more terrible. And Caesar shall go forth.
Alas, my lord, the wisdom is consumed in confidence. Do not go forth today. Call it my fear that keeps you in the house and not your own. We'll send Mark Antony to the Senate House, and he shall say you are not well. Oh, let me on my knee prevail in this.
Mark Antony shall say I am not well, and for thy whim, I will stay at home today. And here's Decius Brutus, and he shall tell them so.
Caesar, all hail! Good morrow, worthy Caesar. I come to fetch you to the Senate House.
And you are come in very happy time to bear my greetings to the senators and tell them I will not come today. Cannot is false, that I dare not falter. I will not come. Tell them so, Decius.
Say he's sick.
Shall Caesar send a lie? Have I in conquest stretched my arm so far to be afraid to tell graybeards the truth?
Decius, go and tell them Caesar will not come.
Most mighty Caesar, let me know some cause, lest I be laughed at when I tell them so.
Cause is in my will. I will not come. That should be enough to satisfy the Senate. But for your private satisfaction, because I love you, I will let you know. Calpurnia here, my wife, stays me at home. She dreamt tonight she saw my statue, which like a fountain with 100 spouts did run pure blood. And many gallant citizens came smiling and did bathe their hands in it. These does she apply for warnings and portents and evils imminent, and on her knee hath begged that I should stay at home today.
This dream is all misinterpreted. It was a vision fair and fortunate. Your statue, spouting blood in many pipes, and with so many smiling citizens bathed, signifies that from you, our country shall suck reviving blood, and great men shall press for tinctures, stains, relics, and cognizance. This, by Calpurnia's dream, is signified.
And in this way have you well expounded it.
I have. When you have heard what I can say, know it now. The Senate have concluded this day to give a crown to mighty Caesar. If you shall send them word you will not come, their minds may change. Besides, it would be a mock apt to be rendered for someone to say, break up the Senate till another time, till Caesar's wife shall meet with better dreams. If Caesar heard himself, shall they not whisper, lo, Caesar is afraid? Pardon me, Caesar, for my dear, dear love to your proceeding bids me tell you this.
How foolish do your fears seem now, Calpurnia. I am ashamed I did yield to them. Francisco, my tunic, for I will go. And look where Publius has come to fetch me.
Good morrow, Caesar.
Welcome, Publius. What, Brutus, are you stirred so early too? Good morrow, Casca. Caius Legaius. Caesar was ne'er so much thine enemy as that same ague which has made you lean. What o'clock is it?
Caesar, it is struck an 8.
I thank you for your page and courtesy. Look where Antony that revels long o' nights is notwithstanding up. Good morrow, Antony.
So to most, noble Caesar.
Francisco, bid them prepare within. I am to blame to be thus waited upon. Good friend, go in and taste some wine with me. Now, Cinna, now Metella, Tribonian, what, Decius? I have an hour's worth of talk in store for you. Remember that you call on me today. Be near me that I may remember you.
Caesar, I will, and so near will I be, that your best friend shall wish I had been further.
Why dost thou stay?
Well, to know my errand, madam.
I would have had thee there and here again, ere I can tell thee what thou shalt do there. Constancy, be strong upon my side. Sit a huge mountain between my heart and tongue. I have a man's mind, but a woman's might. How hard it is for women to keep a secret. Art thou here yet?
But, madam, what would you have me do? Run to the capital and nothing else, and so return to you and nothing else?
Yes, and bring me word, boy, if thy lord look well, for he went sickly forth. And take good note what Caesar doth, what suitors press to him. Hark! Boy, what noise is that?
Madam, I hear nothing.
Prithee, listen well. I heard a bustling rumor, like a fray, and the wind brings it from the capital.
Truly, madam, I hear nothing.
Come hither, woman. Which way hast thou been?
At mine own house, good lady.
What is the clock?
About the 9th hour, lady.
Is Caesar yet gone to the capital?
Madam, not yet. I go to take my stand to see Caesar pass on to the capital.
Thou hast some suit to Caesar, hast thou not?
That I have, lady. If it will please Caesar to be so good to Caesar as to hear me, I shall beseech him to befriend himself.
Why, knowest thou any harms intended towards him?
None that I know will be. Much that I fear may happen. Good morrow to you. Here the street is narrow. The throng that follows Caesar at the heels of senators, of judges, of common suitors will crowd a feeble person almost to death. I'll get me to a place more spacious, and there speak to great Caesar as he comes along.
I must go in. I fear a wicked thing the heart of woman is. Brutus, the heavens speed thee in thine enterprise. Sure the boy heard me. Brutus hath a suit that Caesar will not grant.
Lady!
I grow faint. Run, Lucius. Commend me to my lord. Say, I am merry. Then come to me again, and bring me word what he doth say to thee.
Caesar, beware of Brutus. Take heed of Cassius. Come not near Casca. Have an eye to Cinna. Trust not Trebonia. Mark well Metellus Cimber. Decius Brutus loves thee not. Thou hast wronged Caius Ligarius. There is but one mind in these individuals, and it is bent against Caesar. If thou beest not immortal, look about you. Security gives way to conspiracy. May Almighty God defend thee, thy friend Artemidorus. Here will I stand till Caesar pass alone, and as a suitor will I give him this. If thou read this, Caesar, thou may yet live. If not, the fates with traitors do contrive. Thou hast wronged Caius Ligarius. There is but one mind in these individuals, and it is bent against Caesar. If thou beest not immortal, look about you. Security gives way to conspiracy. May Almighty God defend thee, thy friend Artemidorus. Here will I stand till Caesar pass alone, and as a suitor will I give him this. If thou read this, Caesar, thou may yet live. If not, the fates with traitors do contrive.
To come.
I, Caesar, but not gone.
Hail, Caesar, read this document.
Trebonia doth desire you to overread at your best leisure this her humble suit.
Caesar, read mine first, for mine is a suit that touches Caesar nearer. Read it, great Caesar.
What touches us ourselves shall be last served.
Delay not, Caesar, read it instantly.
What, is the fellow mad?
Sirrah, get pace.
Cassius, I wish your enterprise today might thrive.
What enterprise, Popilius?
Fare you well. What say, Popilius Lena?
We wish today our enterprise might thrive. I fear our purpose is discovered.
So he makes the Caesar, mark him.
Task be quick, for we fear prevention.
Be calm, Cassius. He speaks not of our purpose. He smiles and Caesar doth not change.
Only another time, for lucky Brutus, she draws Mark Antony out of the way. Where is Metellus? Let her go and immediately present her suit to Caesar.
She is ready. Press near and second her.
Casca, you are the first that rears your hand.
Are we ready? What is now amiss that Caesar and his Senate must redress?
Most high, most noble, and most powerful Caesar, Metellus Cimber throws before thy seat in humble
I
heart.
must prevent thee, Cimber. Thy brother by decree is banished. If thou dost bend and pray and fawn for him, I spurn thee like a cur out of my way. Know that Caesar doth not wrong, nor without cause will he be satisfied.
Is there no voice more worthy than my own, to sound more sweetly in great Caesar's ear, for the repealing of my banished brother?
I kiss thy hand, Caesar, but not in flattery, desiring thee that Publius Cimber should have an immediate freedom of repeal.
What, Brutus? Pardon, Caesar, Caesar, pardon. As low as to thy foot doth Cassius fall, to beg enfranchisement for Publius Cimber.
I could be well moved if I were as you. If I could pray to move, prayers would move me. But I am as constant as the northern star, whose true fixed and resting quality there is no equal in the firmament. Skies are adorned with unnumbered sparks. They are all fire, and every one doth shine. But there's but one in all that doth hold his place. So in the world, it is peopled well with men, and men are flesh and blood and apprehensive. Yet in that number I do know but one, that unassailable keeps straight ahead on his course, unshaken by motion, and that I am he. Let me a little show it, even in this, that I was determined that Cimber should be banished, and constant to remain to keep him so.
Oh, Caesar!
Hence wilt thou lift up Olympus?
Great Caesar!
Doth not Brutus uselessly kneel?
He cares for me!
to Brute than for Caesar.
Freedom, liberty, tyranny is dead! Broilers, bookland! Drive them off the streets! Come to the common pulpits and cry out, liberty, freedom, and enfranchisement!
People, senators, be not afraid. Fly not, stand still. Ambition's debt is paid.
Go to the pulpit, Brutus! And Cassius too!
Where's Publius? Here, quite confounded with this tumult.
Stand closer together, there's something...
Not of standing! Publius, good cheer. There's no harm intended to your person or to no one else. So tell them, Publius. Let no man suffer for this deed, but we the doers.
Where's Anthony?
Fled to his house of maids, men, wives, children, stare, clown, and run. It was doomsday.
Fates, we will know your pleasures. That we shall die, we know. 'Tis but the time and drawing days out the men care about.
Why, he that cuts off 20 years of life cuts off so many years of fearing death.
Grant that, and then is death a benefit? So are we, Caesar's friends, that have abridged his time of fearing death. Stoop, friends, stoop, and bathe our hands in Caesar's blood, up to the elbows, and besmear our daggers. Then walk we forth, even to the marketplace, and waving our red weapons o'er our heads, let's all cry peace, freedom, and liberty!
Peace, freedom, liberty! Stoop then and wash. How many ages hence shall this our lofty scene be acted over in states unborn and accents yet unknown?
How many times will Caesar bleed in sport, no worthier than the dust?
As oft as that shall be. As often shall the group of us be called the ones that gave their country liberty.
What's off? Comes in, a friend of Antony's.
Thus Brutus did my general bid me kneel, thus did Mark Antony bid me fall down. And being prostrate, thus he bade me say, Brutus is noble, wise, valiant, and honorable. Caesar was mighty, bold, royal, and loving. Say I love Brutus, and I honor him. Say I feared Caesar, honored him, and loved him. If Brutus will guarantee that Antony may come safely, and be duly informed how Caesar deserved to lie in death, Antony shall not love Caesar in death so well as Brutus living. So says my general, Antony.
Thy general is a wise and valiant person. I never thought him worse. Tell him, so please him coming through this place, he shall be satisfied, and by my honor depart untouched.
I'll fetch him presently.
I know that we shall have him as our friend.
I wish we may, yet I have a mind that fears him much.
But here is Antony.
Welcome, Mark Antony.
Almighty Caesar, dost thou lie so low? Dost thou lie so low? Are all thy conquests, glories, triumphs, spoils strung to this? To this little measure? Very well. I know not, gentlemen, what you intend. Who else must be put to death? Who else is diseased? If I myself, there is no hour so fit as Caesar's death hour, nor no instruments of half that worth as those your weapons, made rich by the most noble blood of all this world. I do beseech thee, if thou dost bear me a grudge now, whilst your purple hands do steam with warm blood, fulfill your pleasure. Live 1,000 years, I shall not find myself so ready to die. No place shall please me so well, nor no means of death is here by Caesar. And cut off by you the choice and master spirits of this age.
Oh, Antony, beg not your death of us. Though now we must appear both bloody and cruel, our hearts you see not. They are full of pity. But pity for the general good drove out our pity for Caesar. As for you, to you our daggers have leaden points, Mark Antony.
Your votes shall be as strong as any man's in the disposing of new offices of state.
Only be patient until we have appeased the multitude, beside themselves with fear. And then we shall deliver to you the cause, why I, that did love Caesar when I struck him, have thus proceeded.
Aye. I doubt not your wisdom. that each one then render me his bloody hand. First, Marcus Brutus will I shake with you. Next, Caius Cassius, will I take your hand. Now, Decius Brutus, yours. And yours, Matilla. Now, yours, Cinna. And my valiant Casca, now yours. Last but not least, my good Trebonia. Patriots, all. Alas, what shall I say? Friends am I with you all. I do love you all upon this oath that you will give me reasons why and wherein Caesar was dangerous.
Or else were this a savage spectacle? Our reasons are so full of good regard that were you Antony the son of Caesar, you would be satisfied.
That's all I seek, and a moreover suitor, that I may bring forth his body to the Capitol, and in the pulpit, as becomes a friend, speak in the ceremony of his funeral.
You shall, Mark Antony.
Brutus, a word with you. You know not what you do. Do not consent that Antony speak at the funeral. Know you not how much the people will be moved by that which he may utter?
By your pardon, I will myself into the pulpit first and give the reasons for our Caesar's death.
I know not what will happen. I like it not.
Here. Mark Antony, take you Caesar's body. You shall not in your funeral speech blame us, but speak all good you can devise of Caesar, and say that you do it by our permission, else you shall have no hand at all about his funeral. You shall speak in the same pulpit whereto I am going after my speech is ended.
Let it be so. I do desire no more.
Prepare the body then, and come with us.
Pardon me, thou bleating piece of earth, that I am meek and gentle with these butchers. Dorius. Almighty Caesar, thou art the ruins of the most noble man that ever lived in the tides of time. Woe to these hands that shed this costly blood! Now over thy wounds do I now prophesy, which like dumb mouths do ope their ruby lips to beg voice and utterance with my tongue, melius fructum demone omnem decus prevent. A curse shall light upon the limbs of men. Domestic fury and fierce civil strife shall burden all the parts of this our country. But in destruction shall be so common, and dreadful objects so familiar, that mothers shall but smile when they behold their infants quartered with the hands of war. Let all pity be choked with custom of cruelty. Caesar's spirit, ranging for revenge, shall with a monarch's voice cry, Havoc! Unleash the dogs of war! Havoc! Unleash the dogs of war! Now, you're of Octavius Caesar's staff, are you not?
We are.
Caesar did right for him to come here.
He did receive his letters and bid me say to you, Caesar!
Grief I see is catching. For mine eyes seeing the beads of sorrow stand in thine, begin to water. Is thy master coming?
He lies tonight within 7 miles.
Post back with speed and tell him what has happened. This is a mourning city, a dangerous city. No city of safety for Octavius, yet hurry, tell him so. Yet stay a moment, just a moment. No, thou shalt not go back. Not until I have borne this corpse into the chamber of deputies. There shall I try the people how they take this cruel issue of these bloody men. According to the which thou shalt discourse to young Octavius the state of things. Lend me thy hand.
And part the numbers. Those who will hear me speak, let them stay here. Those who will follow Cassius, go with him. And public reason shall be rendered of Caesar's death.
Follow me.
I will hear Brutus speak.
And I will hear Cassius. Compare their reasons separately when we hear them rendered.
Last, countrymen, lovers of liberty, hear me for my cause, and be silent that you may hear. Believe me for mine honor, and respect mine honor, that you may believe. Censure me in your wisdom, and await your senses, that you may the better judge. If there be any in this assembly, any dear friend of Caesar, to him I say that Brutus' love of Caesar was no less than his. If that friend should then demand why Brutus rose against Caesar, this is my answer. Not that I love Caesar less, but that I love my country more. Would you rather Caesar were living to die all slaves, than that Caesar were dead to live all free men?
Keep talking, Brutus.
As Caesar loved me, I weep for him. As he was fortunate, I rejoice at it. As he was valiant, I honor him. But as he was ambitious, I slew him. There's tears for his love, joy for his fortune, honor for his valor, and death for his ambition. Who is here so base that would be a slave? If any, speak, for him I have offended. Who is here so rude that would not be a patriot? If any, speak, for him I have offended. Who is here so vile that would not love his country? If any, speak, for him I have offended. I pause for a reply. Then none have I offended. I have done no more to Caesar than you shall do to Brutus. The question of his death is enrolled in the Capitol. Here comes his body, borne by Mark Antony, who, though he had no hand in Caesar's death, shall receive the benefit of his dying, a place in the Commonwealth, as which of you shall not? With this I depart. But as I slew my best friend for the good of our country, I have that same dagger for myself when it shall please my country to need my death. We'll bring him home in triumph into his house.
The statue of his ancestors.
Let him be
Countrymen, let me depart alone. For my sake, stay here with Antony. Do grace to Caesar's corpse, and grace his speeches tending to Caesar's glories, which Mark Antony by our permission is allowed to make. I do entreat you, not a man depart, save I alone, till Antony have spoke.
Let us hear Mark Antony.
Let him go up into the public chair.
For goodness sake, I am beholden. beholding to you.
What did he say of Brutus? He says for Brutus' sake he finds himself beholding to us all.
Or best he speak no ill of Brutus here.
That's right, this Caesar was a tyrant!
Tyrant, and our nation's blessed be rid of him.
Peace, let us hear what Antony can say.
You gentle friends.
Get out of here!
Countrymen, lend me your ears! I come to bury Caesar, not to praise him! The evil that men do lives after them. The good is often interred with their bones, so let it be with Caesar. For the noble Brutus had told you Caesar was ambitious. If it was so, it was a grievous fault. Grievously has Caesar answered it. Here, under leave of Brutus and the rest, for Brutus is an honorable man, so are they all honorable men. Come I to speak in Caesar's funeral. He was my friend, faithful and just to me. But Brutus says he was ambitious, and Brutus is an honorable man. He had brought many captives home to us, whose ransoms did the general coffers fill. Did this in Caesar seem ambitious? When that the poor had cried, Caesar hath wept, ambition should be made of sterner stuff. And yet, Brutus says he was ambitious, and Brutus is an honorable man. You all did see that on the Lupercal holiday I thrice presented him with a kingly crown, which he did thrice refuse his ambition, and yet Brutus says, he was ambitious. And sure he is an honorable man. I speak not to disprove what Brutus spoke, but come I here to speak what I do know. You did love him once, not without reason. Then what cause withhold you then to mourn for him, O judgment? Thou art fled to brutish beasts, and men have lost their reason. God, bear with me. Bear with me. My heart is in the coffin there with Caesar. I must pause till it come back to me again.
He thinks there is truth in what Antony says.
If thou consider rightly of the matter, then Caesar has had great wrong.
As he, masters, I do fear there will a worse come in his place.
Mark ye his words, he would not take the crown, therefore 'tis certain he was not ambitious.
If it be found so, some will dear abide it.
So, his eyes are red as fire with weeping.
There is not a nobler man around than Antony.
Now mark him, he begins to speak again.
But yesterday the word of Caesar might have stood against the world. Now lie he there. None so poor to do him reverence. Oh, masters, if I were disposed to stir your hearts and your minds to mutiny and rage, why, I should do Brutus wrong and Cassius wrong, who you all know are honorable men. No, I will not do them wrong. I rather choose to wrong the dead, to wrong myself and you, than I will wrong such honorable men. But here is a parchment with the seal of Caesar. I found it in his closet. 'Tis his will. And hear this testament, which, pardon me, I do not mean to read. They would go and kiss dead Caesar's wounds, yes, dip their handkerchiefs in his sacred blood, beg ahead of him for memory, and dying, mention it within their wills, bequeathing it as a rich legacy unto their issue. Patience, gentle friends, I must not read it. 'Tis not meet you know how Caesar loved you. You are not wood. You are not stones, but men. And being men, hearing the will of Caesar, it will inflame you. It will make you mad. 'Tis good you know not that you are Caesar's heirs. Patient, will you stay a while? I have overshot myself to tell you of it. I fear I wrong these honorable men, whose daggers have stabbed Caesar. I do fear it.
They were traitors, honorable men!
You will compel me then to read the will and make a ring about the corpse of Caesar. Let me show you him that made this will. Shall I descend? Will you? Now, if you have tears, prepare to shed them now. You do all do know this mantle?
Lord, deliver us.
I remember the first time ever Caesar put it on. Look, in this place ran Cassius' dagger through. See what a rent the envious Casca made. Through this, the well-beloved Brutus stabbed. And as he plucked his cursed steel away, mark how the blood of Caesar followed it as rushing out of doors to be resolved. If Brutus so unkindly not to know. For Brutus, as you know, was Caesar's angel. Oh, judge, oh, you gods, how dearly Caesar loved him. This was the most unkindest cut of all. For when the noble Caesar saw him stab in gratitude more strong than traitors' arms quite vanquished him, then burst his mighty heart, and in his mantle, muffling up his face which all the while ran blood, great Caesar fell. Oh, what a fall was there, my countrymen. Then I and you and all of us fell down, while bloody treason flourished over us. And now you weep, and I do perceive you feel the dint of pity. These are gracious drops. Kind souls, what weep you when you but behold our Caesar's vesture wounded? Look you here! Here is himself! Martyrs is he by traitors!
Oh, piteous spectacle!
Oh, noble Caesar! Awful day unto them! Bloody glory! Revenge! Fire! Seek destroy! Countrymen, stay!
Antony!
We will hear him! We will follow him! We'll die for him! Friends, sweet friends, let me not stir you up to such a sudden flooded mutiny. They that have done this deed are honorable. Private streets they have a less. I know not that made them do it. They are wise and honorable and will, no doubt, with reasons answer you. I come not, friends, to steal your hearts away. I am no orator as Brutus is. But as you know me all, a plain blunt man. A plain blunt man, I tell you that which you yourselves do know. I show you sweet Caesar's wounds. God. Poor dumb mouths. And I bid them speak for me. But were I Brutus, and Brutus Antony, there were an Antony who would ruffle up your spirits, putting a tongue in every wound of Caesar, that should move the very stones to rise and to mutiny! Hear me, countrymen, yet hear me speak. Friends, you go to do you know not what, wherein his Caesar thus deserved your loves. Alas, you know not. I must tell you then you have forgot the will. The will under the seal of Caesar. To every citizen he gives. Yes, to each individual 7,500 pesos. Yet hear me speak. Moreover, here he has left you all his walks, his private arbors and new planted orchards, this side of the river. He has left them to you and to your heirs forever. Common pleasures to walk abroad and to recreate yourselves. Here was a Caesar, and when come such another!
We'll find the traitor's house and set them on
Let it begin. Mischief thou art afoot, take what course thou wilt. Oh no, fellow!
Sir, Octavius has already come to the city.
Where is he?
He is Caesar. He and Lepidus are at Caesar's house.
And thither will I straight to visit him. He comes upon a wish. Fortune is merry, and in this mood will grant us anything.
I have heard tell that Brutus and Cassius have fled like madmen from the city.
Belike they took some notice of the people, how I moved them. Bring me to Octavius.
I did dream tonight that I did feast with Caesar. Caesar. Oh. Things most frightful charge my fantasy. I have no will to wander forth indoors. And yet it is that something leads me forth.
What is your name?
Where are you going?
Are you a married man or a
Very well! Answer him directly! I am briefly! I am
I mean, where am I going? What is my name?
Yes!
Am I a married man or a bachelor? Well, to answer each wisely, briefly, truly. Well, wisely, I say I am a bachelor.
That's as much as to say they are fools that marry. You'll bear me a bang for that, I fear. Proceed! Directly!
Well, directly I'm going to Caesar's funeral.
Caesar's? As a friend or an enemy?
As a friend!
Well, that matters answered directly.
Briefly, for your dwelling.
My dwelling? Briefly, I dwell in the capital.
Your name, sir, truly.
My name is Cinna!
Yes, he's a conspirator!
Many then shall die. The names are pricked.
Your brother too must die. Consent you, Lepidus?
I do consent.
Prick him down, Antony.
Upon condition that Publius shall not live.
He shall not live. Look for the spot, I damn him. But Lepidus, go you to Caesar's house and fetch the will hither. And we shall determine how to cut off some charge and legacies.
Shall I find you here?
Here or at the Capitol?
This is a slight, unmeritable man. Meet to be sent on errands. Is it fit the threefold world divided he should stand one of the three to share it?
So you thought him.
Octavius, I have seen more days than you. And though we lay these honors on this man to ease ourselves of divers slanderous loads, he shall but bear them as the ass bears gold to groan and sweat under the business.
You may do your will, but he's a tried and valiant soldier.
So is my horse, Octavius. And for that I do supply him suitable pasture. No, do not talk of old Lepidus, but as a property. Now, Octavius, listen, great things. Brutus and Cassius are levying powers. We must straight raise an army. Therefore, let our alliance be combined, our best friends made, Our means stretched, and let us presently go sit in council. How covert powers may be best disclosed, and open perils surest answered.
Let us do so.
For we are at the stake,
Bait about by many enemies.
some that smile have in their hearts, I fear, millions of mischiefs.
Julius, how he received you. I wish to be fully informed.
With courtesy and with respect enough, but not with such familiar instances, nor with such free and friendly conference as he hath used of old.
Thou hast described the hot friend cooling. Ever note, Lucilius, that when love begins to sicken and decay, it useth an enforced ceremony. There are no tricks in plain and simple faith. Comes his army on.
They mean this knight from Sardis to be courted? The greater part, all the cavalry, are come with Cassius. Mark, he's arrived.
Most noble brother, you have done me wrong.
Judge me, ye gods. Wrong I mine enemies, and if not so, how should I wrong a brother?
Brutus, the sober form of yours hides wrongs, and when you do that...
Cassius, be content, I know you well. Speak your grief softly. Before the eyes of both our armies here, which should perceive nothing but love from us, let us not wrangle. Bid them move away.
Go, Pindus, bid our commanders lead their troops off a little from this ground.
Lucilius, do you the like, and let no man come to our tent till we have done our conference. Lucius, stand by on guard.
That you have wronged me doth appear in this. You have condemned and slandered Lucius Pella for taking bribes here of the Sardians, wherein my letters praying on his side, because I knew the man was slighted off.
You wronged yourself to write in such a case.
In such a time as this, it is not right that every trivial offense should bear his criticism.
Well, let me tell you, Cassius, you yourself are much condemned to have an itching palm, to sell and mark your offices for gold to undeserved.
Aye, an itching palm. You know that you are Brutus that speaks this, or by the gods this speech were else your last.
The name of Cassius honors this corruption, and chastisement doth therefore hide his head.
Chastisement?
Remember March, the Ides of March, remember. Did not great Julius bleed for justice' sake? What villain touched his body that did stab if not for justice? What? Shall one of us that struck the foremost man of all this world but for supporting robbers, shall we now contaminate our fingers with base bribes and sell the mighty space of our large honors for so much money as can be grasped thus? Oh, by God, I'd rather be a dog and bay the moon than such a political.
Brutus, bait not me, I'll not endure it. You forget yourself to limit my authority. I am a soldier. I, older in practice, abler than yourself to manage affairs.
Go to, you're not.
I am.
I say you're not.
Urge me no further. I shall forget myself. Have mind upon your safety. Tempt me no farther.
Away, slight man.
Is it possible? Must I endure all this?
All this? Aye, more. Fret till your proud heart break. Must I observe you? Must I stand and crouch beneath your testy humor? Oh, by the gods, you shall digest the venom of your spleen, though it do split you. For from this day forth I'll use you for my mirth. Yea, my laughter when you are waspish.
Did it come to this?
You say you're a better soldier. Well, let it appear so. Make your boasting true, and it shall please me well. For mine own part, I shall be glad to learn of noble men.
You wrong me in every way. You wrong me, Brutus. I said an elder soldier, not a better. Did I say better?
What you did, I care not.
When Caesar lived, he durst not thus have angered me.
Peace! Peace! You durst not so have provoked him!
Do not presume too much upon my love. I may do that I shall be sorry for.
You have done that you should be sorry for. Oh, there is no terror in your threats, Cassius, for I am armed so strong in honesty that they pass by me as the idle wind, which I respect not. I sent to you for certain sums of gold which you denied me, for I can raise no money by vile means.
Oh, by God, I'd rather coin my heart and drop my blood for pesos than to wring from the hard hands of peasants their poor coin by any irregular means. I sent to you for gold to pay my allegiance, which you denied me. And was that done like Cassius? Should I have answered Caius Cassius so? Well, when Marcus Brutus grows so covetous to lock such rascal counters from his friends, dash him to pieces.
I denied thee not.
You did! I did not! He was but a fool that brought my answer back.
Oh, Brutus hath split my heart in two. A friend should bear his friend's infirmities, but Brutus makes mine greater than they are.
I do not until you practice them on me.
You love me not?
I do not like your faults.
A friendly eye could never see such faults.
Oh, flatterers would not, though they do appear as huge as high Olympus.
Come, Antony and young Octavius, come! Revenge yourselves alone on Cassius. For Cassius is aweary of this world. Hated by one he loves, braved by his brother, checked like a lonely peon, all his faults observed, is set in a notebook, learned and conned by rote to cast into my teeth. Oh, I could weep my spirit from mine eyes. Here is my weapon. I that denied thee gold will give my heart. Strike now as thou didst at Caesar, for I know that when thou didst hate him worst, thou lovest him better than thou ever lovest Cassius.
Sheathe your weapon. Oh, Cassius, you are yoked with a lamb that carries anger like the flint bears fire, who much enforced shows a hasty spark and straight is cold again.
Hath Cassius lived to be but mirth and laughter to his Brutus when grief and blood ill-tempered vexeth him?
When I spoke that, I was ill-tempered too.
Do you confess so much? Give me your hand.
And my heart too.
Oh, Brutus.
What's the matter?
Have not you love enough to bear with me when that rash humor which my mother gave me makes me forgetful?
Yes, Cassius. And henceforth, when you are over earnest with your Brutus, you'll think your mother chides. Leave you so. Lucius!
Sir.
A bowl of wine.
I did not think you could have been so angry.
Cassius, I'm sick of many griefs.
Of your philosophy you make no use if you give place to accidental evils.
No man bears sorrow better. Portia is dead.
Portia?
She is dead.
How escaped I killing when I crossed you so?
Impatient with my absence, and grief that young Octavius and Mark Antony had made themselves so strong. She fell distract, her nurses absent, killed herself.
Oh, ye immortal gods.
Speak no more of her. In this, I bury all unkindness, Cassius.
My heart is thirsty for that noble pledge. I cannot drink too much of Brutus' love.
Titinius, welcome, Captain. Let us gather about my desk and call in question our necessities. No more, I pray you. Casca, I have here received letters that Octavius and Antony come down upon us with a mighty power, bending their expedition toward Philippi.
I, too, have received letters of the self-same intent, and that by prescription and bills of outlawry, Octavius, Antony, and Lepidus have put to death 100 senators.
Therein our letters do not well agree. Mine speak of 70 senators killed, Cicero being one.
Cicero
is dead.
Well, to our work alive, what think you of marching to Philippi presently?
I do not think it wise.
Your reason?
'Tis better that the enemy should seek us. So shall he waste his means, weary his soldiers, doing himself offense. And whilst we, lying still, are full of rest, defense, and nimbleness.
Good reasons must of force give place to better. The people twixt Philippi and this point stand but in a forced affection.
Yeah, hear me, good brother.
Under your pardon, you must note beside that we have tried the utmost of our friends. Our legions are brim full, our cause is ripe. The enemy increaseth every day, while we at the height are ready to decline. There is a tide in the affairs of men, which taken at the flood leads on to fortune. Omitted, all the voyage of their life is bound in shallows and in miseries. On such a full sea are we now afloat, and we must take the current when it serves, or lose our ventures.
Then with your will, go on. We'll arm ourselves and meet them at Philippi.
The deep of night has crept upon our talk, and nature must obey necessity, which we will niggard with a little rest. Is there no more to say?
No more. Good night. Early tomorrow we will rise in hence.
Lucius? Good night, Tinius. Farewell, Cassius.
Good night, Lord Brutus.
Noble, noble Cassius. Good night. Good repose.
Oh, my dear brother, this was an ill beginning of the night. Never comes such division between our souls. Let it not, Brutus.
Everything is well.
Good night, my lord.
Good night, good brother. Where's thy instrument?
Here, Lieutenant.
What? Speak'st thou drowsily? Thou poor knave, I blame thee not, thou art o'erwatched. Look, Lucius, the book I sought for so, I found it in the pocket of my jacket.
I was sure your lordship did not give it to me.
Bear with me, I am much forgetful. Canst thou hold up thy heavy eyes a while and touch thy instrument a strain or two?
Aye, and it please you.
Oh, it does, my boy, it does. I know I trouble thee too much, but thou art willing.
Well, it is my duty, sir.
Well, I should not urge thy duty past thy might. I know young bloods look for a time of rest.
No, I have slept already, my lord.
That was well done, and you'll sleep again. I'll not keep thee long. If I do live, I will be good to thee.
Orpheus with his lute made trees, and the mountain tops that freeze bowed themselves when he did sing to his music. Plants and flowers ever sprung, and sun and showers there had made a lasting spring. There had made a lasting spring. Everything that heard him play in the billows of the sea hung their heads and then lay by.
Well, this is a sleepy tune. O murderous slumber, layest thou thy leaden mace upon my boy that plays thee music? Well, poor knave, I'll not do thee so much wrong to wake thee. Thou nod, thou breaks thy instrument, I'll take it from thee. Good boy. Good night. Where was I? It's not the leaf turned down. I left reading. Here it is, I think. How ill this lamp burns. Who comes here? It's the weak as mine eyes to shape this monstrous apparition. It comes upon me. Art thou anything? Art thou some god, some angel? Or some devil that makes my blood cold and my skin crawl? Speak to me what thou art!
Thy evil spirit, Brutus!
Why comest thou?
To tell thee thou shalt see me at Philippi.
Well, I shall see thee again then.
Aye, at Philippi.
I shall see thee at Philippi then. Well, now I have taken heart thou vanishest. Ill spirit, I would hold more talk with thee. Lucius!
The strings, my lord, they are false.
Wait!
My lord!
Didst thou dream that thou so cried out?
No, I did not know that I did cry.
Yes. Did you see anything?
No, nothing, my lord.
Sleep again, Lucius. Sleep again. No. Go and commend me to my brother Cassius. Tell him to set on his powers betimes before. We shall follow.
I will, my lord.
Run!
Our hopes are answered. You said the enemy would not come down, but keep the hills and upper regions. Proves not so. Their armies are at hand. They mean to challenge us at Philippi.
Tut, I'm aware of their secret. I know wherefore they do it. They could be content to visit other places and come down with fearful bravery, thinking by this space to fasten in our thoughts that they have courage. But 'tis not so.
Prepare you, generals. The enemy comes on a gallant show. Their red flag of battle is hung out. Something's to be done immediately.
Octavius, lead your army slowly on upon the left hand of the even field.
Upon the right hand I. Keep thou the left.
What? Why do you cross me now?
I do not cross you, but I will do so.
Look.
They stand and would have parley.
Stand fast, Titinius. We must out and talk.
Mark Antony, shall we give sign of battle?
No, Caesar. We shall answer when they attack. Mark forth! The generals would have some words.
Stir not until the signal.
Words before blows. Is it so, countrymen?
Not that we love words more as you do.
Good words are better than bad strokes, Octavius.
In bad strokes, Brutus, you give good words. Witness the hole you made in Caesar's heart, crying, long live hail, Caesar!
Antony! The posture of your blows are yet unknown. But for your words, they rob the Hyblabees and leave them honeyless.
Not stingless, too!
Oh, yes, and soundless, too. For you have stolen their buzzing, Antony, and very wisely. Threat before you sting.
Villains! You did not so give warning when your vile daggers hacked one another in the sides of Caesar. You showed your teeth like apes, formed like hounds, and bowed like slaves, kissing Caesar's feet. While stamped Casca like a curvine struck him on the neck. Oh, you flatterers!
Flatterers? Now, Brutus, thank yourself. This tongue had not offended so today if Cassius might have ruled.
Come. To our business. If arguing make us sweat, the proof of it will turn to redder drops. Look, I draw a weapon against conspirators. When think you the sword will be sheathed again? Never, till Caesar's 33 wounds be well avenged, or until another Caesar has also been killed by the sword of traitors.
Caesar
not born to die by Brutus' hand!
Oh, if thou wert the noblest of thy strain, young man, thou couldst not die more honorable.
A peevish schoolboy, worthless of such honor, joined with a rogue and a reveler.
Oh, Cassius, no! Come, Antony, away! Defiance, traitors, we hurl in your teeth! If you dare fight today, come to the field. If not, when you have stomachs!
Cry now, billow, wind, swell, billow, and swim back. The storm is up and all is on the hazard.
A word, Lucilius.
My lord. Casca!
What says my general?
Casca, today is my birthday, as this very day was Cassius born. Give me your hand. Be thou my witness that against my better judgment am I compelled to stake upon one battle all our liberties. But hear me, good Casca. Coming from Sardis on the topmost pennant of our headquarters, 2 mighty eagles fell, and there they perched, gorging and feeding from our soldiers' hands. This morning are they fled away and gone, and in their place do crows, ravens, and vultures fly over our heads, looking down on us as if we were sickly prey. Their shadows seem a canopy most fatal under which our army lies ready to give up the ghost. Believe not so. I but believe it partly. For I am fresh of spirit and resolved to meet all perils very constantly.
Even so, Lucilius.
Now, most noble brother, since the affairs of men rest still uncertain, let us reason with the worst that may befall. If we do lose this battle, then is this the very last time we shall speak together. What are you then determined to do?
I will arm myself with patience and wait for the providence of some higher powers that govern us here below.
Then if we do lose this battle, you are content to be led in triumph through the streets of our capital?
No, Cassius, no. Think you not that Brutus will ever go bound to the capital? He bears too great a mind. But this day must end the work the Ides of March begun. And whether we shall meet again, I know not. Therefore, our everlasting farewell take. Forever and forever farewell, Cassius. If we do meet again, why, we shall smile. If not, then this parting was well made.
Forever and forever farewell, Brutus. If we do meet again, we'll smile indeed. If not, it's true, this parting was well made.
Why then, lead on. Oh, that a man might know the end of this day's business ere it come. But it sufficeth that the day will end, and then the end is known. Come, away! Go, Casca, go! Take these orders to Cassius' legions on the other side. Let them set on at once. Let them all come down!
Look! The villains fly! Myself and 2 my known turned enemy. This sentinel of mine was turning back. I slew the coward and did take it from him.
Oh, Cassius, Brutus gave the word too early. Who, having some advantage on Octavius, took it too eagerly. His soldiers felt a looting whilst we by Anthony are also rounded.
Fly further off, my lord! Fly further off! Lord Antony is in your tents, my lord! Fly therefore, noble Cassius, fly far off!
Is here, is far enough! Look, Titinius, are those my tents where I perceive the fire?
Well, my lord.
Titinius, if thou lovest me, mount thou my horse and hide thy spurs in it, till I have brought thee up to yonder troops and back again, that I may rest assured whether yonder troops are friend or enemy.
We will be here again even
Go to the has run his compass.
My lord Cassius!
Sir, what news?
Oh, my lord!
What news?
Titinius is enclosed roundabout, yet he fights on! Now they're almost on him!
Titinius, flee!
He is taken!
Come down! Behold no more! O coward that I am, to live so long to see my best friend taken before my face. I did take thee prisoner, when I swore thee, saving of thy life, that whatsoever I bid thee do, thou shouldst attempt it. Aye, my lord. Come now, keep thine oath. Now be a free man, and with this good weapon, search this bosom. No! Stand not to answer! Take down the hilts! And when my face is covered as it is now, guide down the blade. Caesar! Thou art revenged!
So I am free. O Cassius, far from this land Pindarus shall run, wherever the enemy shall take note of him.
Octavius is overtaken by Brutus' powers. Cassius' legions are by Antony.
These tidings were well comforted, Cassius.
Stay, is not that he that lies upon the ground?
He lies not like the living. Oh, my heart.
Is not that he?
No! This was he, Casca. Cassius is no more. Day is gone. Our deeds are done. Mistrust of my success hath done this deed.
Mistrust of good success hath done this deed. O hateful heir, melancholy's child, the emprise of man, the things that cannot be.
What? Pandorus! Where art thou, Pandorus?
Seek him out, Titinius, whilst I go to find the noble Brutus, thrusting news of this report in his ear. Steel and darts and venom shall be as welcome to the ears of Brutus as tidings of this sight.
Are you, Casca? I will seek for Pandorus the while. Why didst thou send me forth, brave Cassius? Did I not meet thy friends? Didst thou not hear their shouts of victory?
Oh, yonder, Titinius boarding! Titinius faces upward!
He is slain!
Not mighty yet! My spirit walks abroad and turns our weapons into our own proper entrails.
Brave Titinius!
Our country should ever breathe, my fellow. Friends, I owe more tears to this dead man than you shall see me pay. I shall find time, Cassius. I shall find time. Come. To Theseus sent his body. His funeral shall not be in our camp lest it discomfort us. Plato, Lucilius led us to the field. 'Tis 3 o'clock. Yet ere night, we shall try fortune in a second fight.
take our son.
Yield it or diest.
Only I yield to die. There is so much, if thou wilt kill me straight. Kill Brutus, be honored in his death.
Brutus! We must slaughter a noble prisoner.
Whom ho?
Tell Anthony Brutus is taken.
I'll tell the general.
Here comes the general.
Brutus is taken, my lord. Brutus, where is he?
Safe, Anthony.
Brutus is safe enough. The gods defend him from so great a shame. When you do find him, alive or dead, he'll be found like Brutus, like himself.
This is not Brutus, friend. But I assure you a prize no less in worth. Keep this man safe. Give him all kindness. I'd rather have such men my friends than enemies. Go on! See whether Brutus be alive or dead. And bring us word unto Octavius' headquarters how everything is chanced.
How good evening, friends. We'll rest here. Till my lord. King our back. I fear to be captured or slain. Stay down, Cletus. Slain is the word. It is indeed fashion. Not Cletus. My lord, no. Not for all the world. I'd rather kill myself. Peace then. No words. Dardanius.
My lord. Shall I do such a deed? What ill request did Brutus make to thee? To kill him, Cletus. Look, he meditates. Now is that noble vessel so full of grief that it runs over even at his eyes.
Martin, Lucius, this the word?
What says my lord?
By this, Lucius, the ghost of Caesar hath appeared to me several times by night, at Sardis once, and this last night here at Philippi Fields. I know my hour is come.
No, not so, my lord.
Nay, I am sure of it, Lucius. Thou seest the world, how it goes. Our enemies have beat us to the pit. Cannot tell, tarry to make Lucius. Thou hast served me well these many years. Even for that, our love of old, I pray you, hold thou this weapon, while I do run upon it.
No, sir, that is not a task fit for a friend.
Farewell to you. Farewell to you too, Lucius. Strato, thou hast been all this while asleep.
My lord.
Farewell to you, Strato. Countrymen, my heart doth joy, but yet in all my life I knew no man but he was true to me. I shall have glory by this same day, more than Octavius and Mark Antony by this vile conquest shall attain unto. So fare you well, friends. Brutus' tongue hath almost ended his life's history. Night hangs upon mine eyes. My bones would rest, have been labored to attain this hour. Stay down with my lord. My lord, I want to respect. My life hath had some scratch of honor in it, Strato. My lord, take down the weapon. Turn away thy face. While I do run upon it.
Give me your hand first. Fare you well, my lord.
Farewell. Caesar, now be still. I killed not thee with half so good a will.
What man is that? Brutus aid! Strato, where's thy general?
Free from the bondage you are in, Casca. His conquerors can but burn him. For Brutus only overcame himself, and no man else hath honor by his death. So Brutus should be found. I thank thee, Brutus. thou have proved Lucilius saying true.
All that served Brutus, I will entertain them.
Straight up, how died my friend?
Hail the bayonet. He did run upon me.
Octavius. Then take him that did the latest service to my friend.
This was the noblest patriot of them all. All the conspirators, save only he, did what they did in envy of great Caesar. Only he, in a general, honest thought and common good for all, became one of them. His life was gentle and all the elements in him so mixed that nature might stand up and say to all the world, this was a man.
According to his virtue, let us use him with all rites and respects of burial. Within my tent tonight his bones shall lie, ordered honorably and most like a soldier. So, call the armies to rest and let's away, to share the glories of this happy day.